I never believed in urban legends, ghost stories, creepy encounters, and things that go bump in the night were just tales meant to scare people. Or so I thought. That was until I had an encounter I can never explain. One that still haunts me to this day. It happened in Texas, on a quiet night that I will never forget. I was alone at home, sitting on my couch, scrolling through my phone. It was late, past midnight, and the house was silent except for the occasional creak of the wooden floor. I had always liked staying up late, but that night something felt different. The air was thick, heavy, as if something unseen was pressing down on me. I brushed it off, thinking I was just tired. Then, the knocking started. It was soft at first, barely audible over the hum of the air conditioner. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. I frowned. Who would be knocking at this hour? My neighborhood was quiet. The kind of place where everyone minded their own business. I lived alone, and no one ever visited without calling first. I hesitated before getting up and walking to the front door. Through the peephole, I saw nothing. The porch light flickered, casting eerie shadows across the empty yard. I waited a moment, then turned away, thinking it must have been my imagination. But as soon as I took a step back, the knocking came again. Louder this time. 3 distinct knocks. A chill ran down my spine. I took a deep breath and opened the door. At first, I didn't see anything. The night was still, the street lights dimly illuminating the road. Then I looked down. 2 children stood on my porch. They were young, maybe 10 or 11, dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Too clean, too neat, like they had stepped out of a different time. One was a boy, the other a girl. They didn't move, didn't shift uncomfortably, like normal kids would. They just stood there, staring at me. "Can we come in?" the boy asked. His voice was calm, too calm. Something about them felt wrong. My stomach tightened as an overwhelming sense of dread crept over me. I couldn't explain why, but every fiber of my being screamed at me to close the door. "Are you lost?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The girl tilted her head slightly, her expression blank. "Please, we need to use your phone. Let us in." Her voice was almost robotic, completely devoid of emotion. My heart pounded in my chest. Something was off. Their skin was pale, their clothes too perfect. And then I saw their eyes. They were pitch black, not dark brown, not shadowed by the night. Completely black. No whites, no pupils. Just endless darkness staring up at me. A wave of nausea hit me. I stumbled back, gripping the doorframe. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to get away, to do anything but let them inside. The air around me seemed to shift, turning cold, pressing against me like invisible hands. "No," I said, my voice shaking. "You need to leave." The boy's expression didn't change. "Please, We can't come in unless you invite us. That was the moment I knew I wasn't dealing with normal children. I slammed the door and locked it, my hands trembling. The knocking started again, harder this time, more desperate. They didn't shout, didn't beg, just 3 steady knocks, over and over. I backed away, my breath coming in quick gasps. Then, suddenly, silence. I waited, straining to hear any movement outside. Slowly, I crept to the window and peeked through the blinds. They were gone. The street was empty, as if they had never been there at all. But I knew what I had seen. I knew they had been real. And I knew, deep down, that if I had let them in, I wouldn't be here to tell this story. For weeks after, I felt like I was being watched. Shadows in the corners of my eyes, whispers in the night. Even now, I sometimes wake up to the sound of knocking. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. If you ever hear a knock late at night and see children with pitch black eyes staring up at you, whatever you do, don't let them in. If you love real horror stories and want more spine-chilling tales like this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some legends are real.